Did you know that most people believe staying active is the secret to aging well? That constant movement leads to better health and a longer life? But what if I told you that might not be the full picture? Today's world pushes us to always stay busy, keep moving, never slow down. But recent research is revealing something surprising, something that could change the way you experience your golden years. I'm about to share 3 powerful practices that have helped seniors across America live healthier, happier lives. And trust me, the third one might be exactly what you've been missing. But before we begin, take a second to share your city in the comment below. I'd love to know where you're watching from. And don't forget to tap that like button and subscribe for more life-changing insights. Let's start with the first practice, the art of mindful rest. A few months ago, I met David, a 75-year-old former marathon runner, at a community center in Chicago. He had spent his entire life believing that more movement meant better health. Every morning, he ran for miles. Every afternoon, he played tennis. Every evening, he went on long walks. But despite his active lifestyle, he felt constantly exhausted. His joints ached. His blood pressure kept creeping higher. And no matter how much he exercised, he never felt truly refreshed. Then, something unexpected happened. A minor injury forced him to slow down. At first, he hated it. He felt like he was losing everything he had worked for. But as the days passed, he noticed something unusual. For the first time in years, he actually felt rested. His energy levels improved. His mind felt clearer. And soon, he stumbled upon what he now calls his golden formula, the art of mindful rest. It's not about doing nothing, he told me. It's about doing less, but with more purpose. And he's right. Dr. Sarah Johnson, an aging expert at the Mayo Clinic, has spent 20 years studying senior health. And her research reveals something fascinating. Older adults who practice strategic rest actually experience better health outcomes than those who stay constantly active. It's not about laziness, she explains. It's about giving your body the recovery time it needs. So what does this actually look like in daily life? For David, it starts the moment he wakes up. Instead of jumping straight into movement, he takes 15 minutes to sit quietly on his porch, sipping his coffee, simply watching the world wake up. I used to think that was wasting time, he chuckles. Now I know it's what gives me energy for the whole day. Throughout his day, he follows what experts call strategic rest periods. Not naps, though a short nap isn't a bad thing. Instead, these are intentional pauses between activities. Maybe it's sitting quietly for 10 minutes after running errands. Maybe it's taking a moment to breathe deeply before starting a new task. Think of it like hitting the reset button on your energy levels. And here's what's incredible. Since adopting this approach, David's sleep has improved, his blood pressure has normalized, and he actually has more energy for the activities he loves. I still play tennis, he says, but now I play better because I'm well rested. Let's try something together right now. Take a deep breath with me. Close your eyes. If you're comfortable, feel the way your body rests against your chair or couch. Notice how it feels to simply be still for a moment. This small pause, it's not doing nothing. It's giving your body and mind exactly what they need. The truth is, rest isn't the opposite of activity. It's what makes meaningful activity possible. Think about it. When you're well rested, doesn't everything feel easier? Your movements are more precise. Your mind is sharper. You actually enjoy what you're doing instead of just pushing through it. Dr. Johnson's research even found that people who practice mindful rest report 40% higher energy levels in their daily lives. But here's what's really amazing. They also show improved balance, stronger memory, and even deeper social connections. Why? Because when you're not constantly exhausted, you're more present in everything you do. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, before you start your day, take just 5 minutes to sit quietly. No planning, no worrying, just be. Notice how different your morning feels. This is your first step into the art of mindful rest. But don't stop here. Because what I'm about to share next might just transform the way you experience joy. You know what's interesting about slowing down? You start noticing things you've been missing all along. I want to tell you about Linda from Denver, a woman who taught me something beautiful about finding joy in life's simplest moments. Linda spent most of her life as a high-powered executive, always chasing the next big achievement. Even after retiring at 73, she couldn't shake the habit. She packed her days with activities, tried to make every moment feel productive, believing that happiness came from doing more. I thought I needed big moments to feel fulfilled, she told me with a gentle laugh. I couldn't have been more wrong. Everything changed when she started a small garden on her patio. It wasn't a huge project, just a few pots of herbs and flowers. At first, she thought it was too simple to matter, but then something remarkable happened. Each morning, as she watered her plants, she began noticing things. The way the sunlight caught the dewdrops, the subtle changes in the leaves, the gentle sway of the plants in the morning breeze. It was like discovering a whole new world, she said, right in my own backyard. These tiny moments, these small observations, started filling her with a kind of joy she had never experienced before. It turns out she wasn't alone. The Positive Aging Project recently conducted a study that found something fascinating. People over 70 who find satisfaction in small, everyday experiences report 60% higher life satisfaction than those who are always chasing big achievements. Think about that for a second. It's not the grand events that make life rich. It's the small, meaningful moments we often overlook. Let me share 3 simple ways you can start noticing these moments in your own life. Linda calls them her happiness anchors, and they've transformed not just her life, but the lives of so many others. First, try what she calls a morning marvel. Each morning, take a moment to notice just one small thing that catches your attention. Maybe it's the warmth of the sunlight on your skin, the taste of your morning coffee, or the sound of birds outside your window. Don't rush past it. Just let yourself enjoy it fully. Second, practice sensory moments throughout your day. Pause occasionally to really experience one of your senses. Feel the texture of your favorite sweater. Smell the fresh air after rain. Listen to the quiet hum of your home. These aren't just random observations. They're doorways to joy. Third, and this one's my favorite, create what Linda calls connection spots. These are small, regular moments of connection, either with others or with yourself. It could be a daily phone call with a friend while sitting in your favorite chair, or a weekly visit to a local coffee shop where the barista knows your name. Here's what's truly amazing. These small practices don't just make you feel happier in the moment. They actually change how your brain works. Dr. Robert Lewis at the Center for Aging Studies found that people who regularly notice and appreciate small pleasures show better memory, improved mood, and even stronger immune systems. It's not just about feeling good. It's about living better. Let's try something right now. Look around you. Find one small thing that brings you even a little bit of joy. Maybe it's a favorite photo, a comfortable chair, or the way the light falls across the room. Just notice it. Appreciate it. That's all. But that's everything. Linda now says that her happiest moments aren't the big events she used to chase. They're in her morning gardening ritual, in the taste of fresh herbs she grew herself, in the friendly waves from neighbors passing by. I used to think joy was something you had to pursue, she told me. Now I know it's something you simply need to notice. And the best part? Anyone can do this. Anywhere, anytime. You don't need special equipment. You don't need a big budget. You don't even need much time. You just need to open your eyes and your heart to the simple pleasures already around you. Before I share the third and final practice, one that builds perfectly on this one, let me ask you this. What's one small joy you've noticed today? Maybe it's something you usually take for granted. Take a second to think about it, because what I'm about to share next might just change the way you see your entire life. Let me take you to a small coffee shop in Boston where I met Bob, an 84-year-old man who completely changed the way I think about gratitude. Every morning at exactly 7 a.m., you'll find him sitting at his usual table, sipping his coffee and writing in a small notebook. One day, out of curiosity, I asked him, "What do you write in there every day?" He smiled and slid the notebook across the table. Inside, I didn't see long journal entries or big life reflections. Instead, I saw something much simpler. Small, everyday notes. "Today's coffee tastes especially good," Sarah called. Her voice always makes me smile. "Watched the sunrise. Felt lucky to see another day." Bob looked at me and said, "You want to know what makes life truly rich? It's not about chasing big things. It's about appreciating what's already here." And that's when it hit me. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about noticing the things that already bring you joy. Studies show that people who regularly practice gratitude experience stronger immune systems, better heart health, and even improved sleep. But here's the interesting part. It's not about forcing yourself to be grateful for everything. It's about becoming more aware of the moments that already make you feel good. Bob's morning ritual is beautifully simple. Before opening his notebook, he takes 3 slow sips of coffee. With each sip, he thinks of one thing he's grateful for. Not big things, just simple moments. Some mornings, he chuckles, "I'm just grateful for the coffee itself." And that's enough. You don't need a journal to do this yourself. Let me share a simple gratitude practice that has changed the lives of many people I've met. It's called the evening gratitude ritual. Before you go to bed, think of 3 small things from your day that made you smile. Maybe it was the warmth of the sun, a comfortable chair, a kind word from someone. That's it. Just acknowledge them. No need to write them down. Just noticing them is enough. Bob also taught me something called gratitude connections. Every time he talks to his children or grandchildren, he makes sure to mention one specific thing he appreciates about them. Not just, "I love you," but something deeper. "I love how you always remember to call on Sundays. Your laugh reminds me of your mother." These simple acknowledgments, he says, have deepened his relationships in ways he never expected. And here's something we can try together right now. Take a breath and think of one person in your life who adds something positive to your day. Maybe it's the mailman who always smiles, a neighbor who waves hello. Just hold that person in your thoughts for a moment and feel grateful for their presence. The beautiful thing about gratitude is that it grows. Bob told me that since starting his morning ritual, he finds more and more things to be grateful for. It's like training your eyes to see treasure, he said. Once you start looking for it, you find it everywhere. And what's truly incredible, other regulars at Bob's coffee shop started noticing the change in him. They asked about his notebook. And now, every week, a small group gathers at the cafe to share their gratitude moments. "We call ourselves the Grateful Hearts Club," he laughed. Sounds cheesy, but it works. Of course, some mornings, Bob admits, it's harder to find things to be grateful for. And that's normal. But even on those days, he's learned that there's always something. The comfort of a familiar routine, the kindness of a stranger, or simply the gift of another day to experience life. Remember Margaret, the woman I mentioned at the beginning? She recently joined Bob's morning coffee group. Between moving less, finding joy in simple things, and practicing gratitude, she told me something that stuck with me. I've never felt more alive. Now, let's pause for a second. Think about your day so far. What's one small thing you could write in your own gratitude notebook? It doesn't have to be big or important, just real, just true. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. We started with a simple yet powerful idea. Moving less doesn't mean living less. In fact, it can mean living more deeply, more intentionally, more joyfully. We met David, who spent years believing that staying constantly active was a key to good health, until he discovered the power of mindful rest. A simple shift in his daily routine allowed his body to recover, his energy to return, and his health to improve in ways he never imagined. We saw how just a few intentional pauses throughout the day could make all the difference. Then we met Linda, who spent her life chasing big achievements, only to realize that true happiness was hidden in the small, everyday moments. A quiet morning, the feel of sunlight on her skin, the simple act of watering her plants. She taught us that life's greatest joys aren't found in grand events, but in the moments we often overlook. And finally, we met Bob, whose morning gratitude ritual transformed not only his own life, but the lives of those around him. A simple notebook, a few quiet moments, and a choice to focus on what's already good. These three practices, mindful rest, finding joy in small moments, and practicing gratitude, aren't complicated. They don't require extra effort. In fact, they ask you to do less, not more, and yet, when practiced together, they have the power to transform your golden years into truly golden moments. So, here's my challenge for you. For just 1 week, try these 3 things. Start your morning with 5 minutes of quiet. No distractions, no planning, just stillness. Then, at some point in your day, notice one small joy. A sound, a taste, a feeling. Something simple that brings you peace. And at night, before bed, think of 3 small things from your day that made you smile. That's it. 5 minutes in the morning. 1 moment of joy. 3 things before bed. You might be surprised by how differently you feel. Now, before you go, I have one more request. Share your city in the comments below. I'd love to know where you're watching from. And if you found even one thing in this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights on living your best life at any age. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.